So this is what I meant. We have a template, but we wrote only 2 lines. Now what to do? Just observe. The lecture gives the important key points and the relevant information about paid tribute to Dr. Michael. In the beginning, the speaker explained about is the man who died while on a holiday. Later, speaker mentioned about the importance of paid tribute to Dr. Michael. Here, the speaker was ideally pointing at the fact that is the man who died while on a holiday. In conclusion, speaker gives the important key points about paid tribute to Dr. Michael and is the man who died while on a holiday. This is the way you speak. Of course, you may lose 1 or 2 marks towards your listening because the content is less. But speaking, fluency is perfect, and content to some extent you're giving. Speaking could be 90 if you just follow this. Listening 1 or 2 marks may go down, but you have written only 2 sentences. Instead of getting 0, you actually end up getting good marks towards your speaking and 1 or 2 marks less towards your listening. Hey everybody, Nakul here from SKILLS PTE ACADEMIC. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another super awesome pop-packed video on how to trick and all the cheat codes compiled. Well, before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, paid assistance, you can check the information in the description of this video with like the WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. We will do the needful. Alright, without further delay, let's get right into the video. The very first cheat code is in the read aloud. If the last few lines have so many difficult words, can I skip them? Yes, you can actually skip them, but this is applicable only for the last set of few lines, a small phrase or a small sentence, not the first lines. Let me just show you with an example. If you look at this particular read aloud question, the last line, so incandescently lit and perturb anyone with its glittering shadow. Well, if you can speak this, please do. But if you have a doubt in the mind that if I were to speak this, I probably fumble because there are difficult words. I'm not comfortable with these words, then you skip them. But if these words are in the very first line, can I skip them? No. Second line, no. The last set of few lines, 5-6 words. Even if you skip, it's absolutely fine. Tested thoroughly, you can do it. You can take a chance. But this will not be possible all the time. If there are difficult words on the very first line or second line, you can use this only if there are difficult words in the last line. So how to speak this? In a small village tucked between towering mountains, a peculiar legend surrounded an ancient lantern that hung in the town square. It was said that on the longest night of the year, the lantern would glow with the light. That's it. Do I have to speak the rest? If you can do it, otherwise you skip it. Remember, 3 to 4 words you can definitely skip. In the exam, few of the words which are difficult, you can skip and still get a good score. So if the last line has so many difficult words like 4 to 5, skip the entire line. Absolutely fine. Avoid using one line in the read aloud. We've seen multiple mixed responses. People reading one line and clicking the next button for the rest of it. Meaning in a small village tucked between towering mountains, a peculiar legend surrounded, click next. I've heavily suffered in the reading module. Avoid using it. Some are getting it, some are not getting it. So I would never recommend that. But this is absolutely free from all these troubles. You don't get low scores for skipping the last set of few words or last set of small phrase. Absolutely fine. Don't skip the entire big lengthy lines. Understand this properly. The last line, if there are few difficult words, you can skip them like 6-7 words or 4-5 words. Absolutely fine. Tested. You can rely on this. The second cheat code is to skip the difficult words and still get full scores in the read aloud. This has a catch. Skipping means you cannot simply skip and wait and analyze, understand what the next word is, give time, take a pause and then speak. No, when you skip, it should be very swift. Let me show you with an illustration. Look at this particular read aloud. I have highlighted few words in the yellow which are very difficult for me. So now I'm going to show you how I skip them and yet get full scores. Remember, it's the fluency that is always a priority over the content. Few words you skip, absolutely fine. But make sure your fluency is not suffered. In a small village between towering mountains, a legend surrounded an ancient that hung in the town square. It was said that on the longest night of the year, the lantern would glow with a light so lit and perturb anyone with its glittering shadow. You do like this, you'll get the marks. But while skipping, you fumble, like in a small village between towering mountains, legend, now your marks will be low. So many will try this something this way by giving a lot of pauses. They get 40-50 and they come in this video saying this is absurd, this will not work. So hope you are getting it. Implementation is different, just understanding things are different. So when you skip them, there should be absolutely no fumbles, no hesitations. It should be very swift. Hope you are getting it. The third cheat code is if you mispronounce or misinterpret, meaning there is a word in the read aloud, I spoke some other word, or the pronunciation of the word is this, but I pronounced it differently. If I do that, what to do? Just continue. 1 or 2 words you do this, absolutely no problem. All these are cheat codes. We've already verified this multiple times. When do you lose marks? When you come back and correct it. That's where you lose marks. Just have to go continuously, never look back like this and correct it. For example, in this paragraph, surrounded is the word highlighted in yellow in the second line. Let's say I misinterpreted it or mispronounced it by saying surround. So if I do this, will I lose marks? 100% you don't lose marks. You lose marks only when you come back and correct it. So let me show you how I read this. In a small village tucked between towering mountains, a peculiar legend surround an ancient lantern that hung in the town square. And I will continue. I'll not come back thinking, oh, I pronounced a word wrong, I interpreted a word wrong, I have to correct it. You do that, gone. Something like peculiar legend surrounded an ancient, now marks go down. Reading and speaking both. All these are the cheat codes, absolutely working. We have tried and tested this multiple times. You can rely on this. The fourth cheat code is repeat sentence. Focus more on the fluency than on the content. It's psychological to think that if I give all the content correctly in repeat sentence, I get more marks. Not necessarily. You speak all the words correctly, but take 2-3 pauses, fumble, hesitation, it's going to be 0 out of 3 to speaking, 0 out of 3 to listening. This Albert Einstein's or Stephen Hawking's brain of yours. Focus 60% on the fluency. The remaining 40% you can give it to content. Meaning the first 50-60% of the audio you repeat should be more than enough. But when you repeat, you cannot fumble, you cannot hesitate. Let me show you with an illustration. If this is the audio, on the night of the celebration, Leela climbed to the top of the hill where the lantern hung. This is a very difficult sentence. Something like this comes, people think, oh, how to speak this? Very simple. You don't have to speak this full. You don't have to even give your brain's capacity to focus on the content. Focus more on the fluency, meaning your implementation, your tongue, your mouth should just align with the sentence. On the night of the celebration, Leela climbed to the top. And click next, you're going to get the full scores. On the other hand, what people end up doing, they listen everything, focus 190% of the content and 10% of the fluency and try to speak everything correctly. On the night of the celebration, Leela climbed to the top of the hill where the lantern hung. And they're like celebrating in the exam. Yes! But the point is this will not give you scores. It's going to be straight 0 because software says, boss, what are you speaking? This is not the way I gave the audio to you. Give me the audio the way I gave the question to you. You should copy the speed of the speaker. Wherever the speaker gives a pause, there you have to give a pause. That's it. More than that, you're not supposed to do anything in repeat sentence. It's very simple. Use this to focus more on the fluency. But what people end up doing, they use this to focus more on the content. The cheat code is 60% fluency, 40% content. 60-40 rule, you apply, done and tested, repeat sentence. The fifth cheat code is a very tricky cheat code. In order to guess the length of the audio in the repeat sentence, you could apply a small formula. What's the formula? Let me just show you on my screen. Look at these 2 boxes in repeat sentence. The top one is a speaker box. It says beginning in 3, 2, 1, and then audio starts. Look at the bottom box, it's for the microphone. When the top box is beginning in 3, the bottom box says here, beginning in 8. This 3 becomes 2, 8 becomes 7. 2 becomes 1, 7 becomes 6. This becomes 0 and audio starts. This is beginning in 5 seconds. So if you subtract them, 8 minus 3 is 5 seconds. That means the audio length is approximately 5 seconds. 5-second audio will not be there. It will be 4-second audio and 1-second break. After that, the microphone will start. That means when you subtract them, it should be less than 4. 8 minus 3 is 5, it's greater than 4, so mostly the length of the audio is 4 seconds, lengthy audio. If the length of the audio is 2 or 3 seconds, please come to the next seminar properly prepared. 2 second or 3 second max. That means the difference should be 3 or less than 3. If the difference between these two is more than 3, that means it's going to be a lengthy audio. For lengthy audio, what we should do? The previous one, focus more on fluency, less on content. That means even before the audio begins, you would know if it's going to be a lengthy audio or a short audio. So the formula is the length of the audio is equal to bottom box minus top box. So length for this scenario is 8 minus 3 is 5-second audio. It's not 5, minus 1 you can do, it's a 4-second, still a lengthy one. For example, another scenario, if it says beginning in 3 seconds in the top box and the bottom box says beginning in 6 seconds. Now length is 6 minus 3 is 3, meaning 1 second delay will be there. So 2 seconds is the length, means a very short audio. Very short audio, you don't have to do anything. Listen and speak everything because it's possible. So even before the audio begins, you would know if it's a lengthy audio or a short audio. Accordingly, you're ready, you're prepared, you can employ a strategy. Should I listen only 50-60% or should I listen full? Just subtract these two numbers as quickly as possible before the audio begins. You would automatically know if it's a lengthy one or a short one. Remember, if it is 3 or less than 3, it will be a short one. If the difference is 3 or more than 3, it's gonna be a lengthy one. Remember this cheat code. The next is describe image. Focus 90% on the fluency and 10% on the content if you really want to. Content is not a priority in describe image. Remember, it's an image and an image can speak 1,000 different things. There is no perfect answer here. Psychologically, we tend to think, oh, this particular keyword is important, that particular keyword is important. If I give that, I'll get more marks. That's what you are assuming. What gives you marker is the fluency. What about templates? Well, I would always say template is not going to give you any mark here. Template will help you get that flow, and that flow is going to give you the mark. It's template indirectly helping you. So choose those templates which have lengthy sentences, very less keywords to be used inside the template. You have a template wherein you put so many keywords, the image says, and then you look into the image and start putting a lot of keywords. There are high chances that you fumble, as a result marks go down. So remember, it's mostly the fluency that contributes marks to you. If you want more ideas on the template, check the link in the description. We've provided a Google Drive link. You can click on that, download. All the templates are in that file. You can have a look at it. The truth is, template will not create magic. It's you who is going to create magic with the aid of templates. So your templates will only help you get the flow. And when I say the flow, it should be similar to what you spoke in the read aloud. Same tempo, same rhythm, same speed, no intonation, no fumbles. The rhythm should match. And that's what describe images. Don't focus more on the content. And that's the cheat code number 6. The next cheat code is about Retell lecture strategy. So here people end up writing some keywords using a template and get a low score. You're supposed to write phrases meaning a short sentence. But how to write that short sentence? Do you have a trick? Do you have a cheat code? The common mistake in Retell lecture is people listen to the audio and then start writing simultaneously. 90% of the people from our research will not be able to do it because two things at once is so difficult to do. Most probably you may end up messing it all up. So the idea is very simple. 5 seconds you listen, 5 seconds you write. Now what people think, when they listen for 5 seconds, yes, I got an idea as to what to write. But when I'm writing for 5 seconds, if I am not listening, won't I miss the important keyword? Remember, there is no important keyword in Retell lecture. Software will not know this is important, that is important, it is this. Our mind, the application of our intelligence is predicting, is assuming that this particular thing is important, that particular thing is important. When you do that, obviously, you tend to think, I think I missed this particular keyword, so I lost more marks. The idea is very simple. Just listen to the audio for 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, whatever you decide, okay, this is important. The next 5 seconds, start writing. When you write, don't listen. Close your ears and start writing. If you do this within 30 or 35 seconds, you can have 6 phrases. I'm going to show that implementation in just a while, but things to note down, the actual cheat codes start here for Retell lecture. You have a template, you have 4 phrases or 5 phrases. When you speak, don't try to mix them logically. Oh, these 2 lines are not grammatically fitting in. I will try to correct it. You correct it, marks go down because your fluency will go down. Remember, grammar is of no preference in your speaking. In writing and all, grammar is most important. Listening, grammar is important. Summarize spoken text, grammar is important. Retell lecture, grammar is of no importance. Meaning whatever you have written, whatever the template you have, just read. Even if you have written a wrong sentence, grammatically incorrect sentence, it's absolutely fine. When you correct it, marks will go down. That's the cheat code for you. Remember this. So now I'm going to give you an illustration as to how I take down the notes by dividing them 5 seconds listening and 5 seconds writing. Let's check it out.
Hi there. Today in this English lesson, I'd like to pay tribute to Dr. Michael Mosley.
Pay tribute to Dr. Michael.
Someone who transformed public health through his novel approach and his television programs on the BBC. Michael Mosley is the man who died while on holiday on the man who died while on holiday this month. You may have heard of him or you may not. But he was an example of someone I admire because he was in one sense very ordinary.
He was in one sense very ordinary.
Who really make a huge difference in the world. And certainly for many people in the UK, Dr. Michael Mosley is important and influential because of the way that he successfully encouraged people to make lifestyle
because of the way he successfully encouraged people, because of the way he successfully encouraged. I'm not listening to it. I'm not listening to it.
To make people in the UK healthier.
To make people in the UK healthier. That's it. So now first half is done. We wrote all the important things. So this is the cheat code. To do this, all you're going to do is listen for 5 seconds and write for 5 seconds. The next step is very simple. We're going to just execute it. While speaking, don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about whether it is logically fitting in, whether it is making sense or not. Absolutely no. Just read. Think of it like read aloud. In the read aloud, do you correct the statements? No, whatever is there you read. Here as well, whatever is there you read. First line of the template, first line of the phrase. Second line of the template, second line of the phrase, and continue henceforth. The lecture gives the important key points and the relevant information about paid tribute to Dr. Michael. In the beginning, the speaker explained about is the man who died while on a holiday. Later, speaker mentioned about the importance of he was in one sense very ordinary. Here the speaker was ideally pointing at the fact that because of the way he successfully encouraged people. In conclusion, speaker gives the important key points about to make people in the UK healthier. You do this, I bet my life why you cannot get good scores in your speaking and listening. This is the cheat code. This is the way you do in the Retell lecture. From today onwards, don't worry about Retell lecture. Just implement it, just execute it. Things will automatically fall in place. So another cheat code in Retell lecture is, let's say you wrote only 2 phrases. For some reason you are not able to write 4 or 5. Only 2 phrases, but there are 5 lines of the template. What to do during such scenario? Let me just help you with it. So this is what I meant. We have a template, but we wrote only 2 lines. Now what to do? Just observe. The lecture gives the important key points and the relevant information about paid tribute to Dr. Michael. In the beginning, the speaker explained about is the man who died while on a holiday. Later, speaker mentioned about the importance of paid tribute to Dr. Michael. Here the speaker was ideally pointing at the fact that is the man who died while on a holiday. In conclusion, speaker gives the important key points about paid tribute to Dr. Michael and is the man who died while on a holiday. This is the way you speak. Of course, you may lose 1 or 2 marks towards your listening, that because the content is less. But speaking, fluency is perfect, and content to some extent you're giving. Speaking could be 90 if you just follow this. Listening 1 or 2 marks may go down, but you have written only 2 sentences. Instead of getting 0, you actually end up getting good marks towards your speaking and 1 or 2 marks less towards your listening. This is the cheat code. Remember this. The next cheat code is with respect to answer short questions. What is the ideal strategy? Skip it. You don't need to practice. Well, in the exam, if you know the answer, you tell the answer. If you don't know the answer, repeat the question or say something relevant to the question. This is a dummy model. It's not going to make any difference towards your scores. Is this tested? 100%. Yes. The next cheat code is with respect to summarize written text. I've told this in many videos here as well, the same thing, because the same thing is working even today. Take 2 complete sentences. In between them, add a comma and a connector and A&D. In the end, put a full stop. As simple as that. But the mistake here is people don't copy the entire independent sentence. They copy half sentence. The idea is very simple. After a full stop, start copying until you find another full stop. Or take the first sentence. Don't copy half sentence. You copy half sentence, marks will go down. Let's look at this particular paragraph. I've taken 2 sentences, 1 sentence in yellow. It's the start of the paragraph. Porcupines have soft hair, but on their back, sides and tail it is usually mixed with sharp quills. Till I see a full stop, I'm copying it. After that, one more. Many animals come away from a porcupine encounter with quills protruding from their own snouts or bodies. It's an end of a sentence, full stop. These 2 sentences I'm going to pick. And see the sentence there. In between, I'm going to add a comma and a connector, A-N-D. And in the end, I put a full stop. Pearson says 5 to 75 words for PTE Academic. For PTE Core, it says 25 to 50 words. Anywhere between 35 or 40 to 45, 40 to 50 is more than enough. Don't have to write till 75 words. Remember, the more you write, the more mistakes you make. The 10th cheat code is about essay, the truth about essay writing. I made many videos of the essay writing. You can check them, but here as well, I'm going to tell you the real truth in a very short way possible. So focus 80% on the grammar and the spelling. What people end up doing? 20% on the grammar and the spelling. Focus 19% on the content. What is this 19%? Because the remaining 1% is towards template. But what people end up doing? They just reverse it. 99% on the template. 1% on the grammar and spelling. That's not going to give you a mark. Template will help you to write faster, will help you to minimize the mistakes. But what if template only has problems? Correct? These days, if you use one word template or keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword, I have been telling this since a year or so. Even today, I'm telling the same. You can check my essay writing video that I've posted a year back or 2 years back. I've been recommending people not to use those templates, which gives you only one word to fill topic. Or keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword. No, man. It's time you write on your own 5 sentences with a mixture of simple, compound, complex. Using any template, my template or anyone's template. Templates are in the description. But when you write, you cannot make grammatical mistakes, you cannot make spelling mistakes. So 80% focus on grammar and the spelling. You have problem in grammar, you have problem in spelling, then what templates can do? Work on your English, read books. They're the real things which nobody wants to do. These are the real cheat codes. You work on your grammar and the spelling, focus less on the content, focus less on the template. You win. You don't do this, mostly you lose. Remember this. 11th cheat code is about PTE reading module. Remember to skip the modules like choose single answer, choose multiple answer. Absolutely not score. The moment you see, click one answer and move on. Reordering the paragraph is not a priority. Let's say you get the correct answers, well and good. If you're not getting it, completely confused, randomly choose one and move on. It is not a priority. Reorder hardly contributes some 4 to 5 marks and not more than that. Then what is priority? Reading, fill in the blank, and reading, writing, fill in the blanks. These two are the pillars of your reading and writing, because writing marks come from reading, writing, fill in the blanks, approximately 25 to 30 marks. The 12th cheat code is about reading, fill in the blanks, and reading, writing, fill in the blanks. Try doing it using collocation and grammar knowledge. I've made many videos, numerous videos on that. You can check them in my channel. But here as well, I'm going to show a small demo on what collocation cheat code I meant. Let's have a look at it. So this is a reading, fill in the blanks paragraph. Let me show you how I would end up doing it using a collocation cheat code. The rise of artificial intelligence has been dash both excitement. You dash excitement, you give excitement, you trigger an excitement. So triggering is the first one. Will dash advancements, will get advancements, or will drive advancements. Drive is the second one. Third one, dash into, venture into something new. Venture into the new frontier is the collocation. Venture into is the third one. The fourth one, dash societal need. You fix a need, you address the need. Address is the correct answer for the fourth one. The last one, dash the potential. Utilize the potential, harness the potential. So check out my other videos in the YouTube channel. You'll understand how to solve using grammar and collocation. You want more information on it, you can join our course. Collocation itself, 40-hour lecture we have in our online assistant. You can join and understand all the things. 13th cheat code is about summarize. Spoken text, same ditto as written lecture. Listen for 5 seconds, write for 5 seconds. Now after writing everything, now you have to type correctly. When you type, you can alter it the way you want it. You can change few words, you can add few words. It's up to you. But grammatically, there should not be any single letters. Logically, it doesn't matter. This sentence is not fitting logically, it's still fine. But grammatically, noun, verb, tense, everything should match, and there should be 0 spelling errors. Any template is fine. I have also given templates in the description, you can check, but don't follow the same template of written lecture to summarize spoken text. Here you need to use templates with shorter sentences, because content you need to add more. Written lecture, longer sentence templates, because the longer the templates are, you get more flow. So there are varied logics like this. Don't interpret too much, just put that faith in me. Things will fall in place. Don't use the written lecture template to summarize spoken text. Check the template in the description I have given you. The 14th cheat code is listening, fill in the blanks. Very, very important module, and it's an integrated module. Every correct blank that you write contributes 2 marks. 1 will go to listening and 1 will go to writing. 12 to 15 marks to listening and 12 to 15 marks to writing you can expect from this module. Also some cheat codes for this. Capital letter, small letter is not going to make sense. We have tried and tested this. You can mix the spelling. In the Pearson scorecard they say if you write American or British, stick to one, but we've mixed it and still people have gotten 90. You can start with capital letters, or you can write all capital, all small. All these are immaterial. If there is a full stop and a dash, should I make the first letter capitalization? If you want, you do it. Even if you don't, it's absolutely fine. What matters is the spelling. And also using grammar method here, you can actually make out some S sounds and AD sounds. For example, if there is a dash and the word says develops, is it develop or develops or developed? Using subject-verb agreement, using tenses rules, you can actually understand them. Check out my grammar videos. If you want to join a course, you join us, listening, fill in the blanks. Every alternate day, we have a test wherein we have a mixture of grammar, collocation, and lot many things to solve listening, fill in the blanks. The 15th cheat code is with respect to the modules that you got to skip in the listening. First is choose single answer, second is choose multiple answer, third is highlight correct summary, and the fourth is select missing word. All these are dummy, absolutely not scored. We have tried and tested this. The moment you see a question, you cannot click the next button because the audio will be playing and the next button will not be activated. So try solving it with your own logic, but once the audio ends, the next button will be activated. Be ready with your answers. If you know the answer, select that answer. If you don't know the answer, randomly select one and move on. All this are dummy. But if you don't employ this strategy and take a lot of time to solve them, then last write from dictation, you will not have a lot of time to solve. Remember this is a very, very important cheat code. Just skip these modules. You will have a lot of time to solve and write from dictation. The next is highlight incorrect words. This also is a very important module. It's an integrated module, contributes marks to your listening and reading, both 12 to 15 marks to listening and 12 to 15 marks to reading. The cheat code is very simple. Read what you see. But what people end up doing, they read what they listen. Because the two skills assessed, one is listening, one is reading. The plain audio and they give you a text, you have to highlight the incorrect words, the words which are different compared to what you heard in the audio. So what people end up doing, they read what they listen. You should read what you see. Listen separately and read separately. I'm going to give you a small demonstration. So let me just show you where people actually go wrong in highlighting correct words.
Aloe vera juices are fast turning into an
fast moving and fast turning. So now you heard turning, you end up reading the moving as turning. As a result, many would not even select this. Pay more attention.
Demand category in the estimated 2,500 rupees crore juice market as Indian consumers seek healthier alternatives to packaged fruit juices that often contain additional sugar.
That often contain is what you heard, and many would have read consumers contain because they're reading what they listen. You read what is there. So how to improve reading skill? Very simple. Read every day. Don't practice this module every day. It's not going to make a huge difference. You read novels, you read books every day, a bit fast reading, a bit conscious reading. And then after a week, come here, problem solved. Instead of doing that, what people end up doing, they just practice. It's not going to make a huge difference. Remember this. The last is write from dictation. Very simple. I've told this in many videos. Add extra words, extra spellings. There's absolutely no deduction in the marks. So what I meant by this, if this is the question, the pandemic led to a significant increase in remote work across the globe. The below answer, the pandemic, I've written 2 words. Lead, let's have written 3 words. To a significant increases in remote works across the globe, and the. If I write like this, will I get 13 out of 13 to listening and 13 out of 13 to writing? 100% is. What makes a difference is not about adding. Whatever you add should match. So people add extra words, but full of wrong words they add, and they get 45 overall. They come back and comment here, this is not working. Even if you don't add, you get 45 overall only. It's time you understand and appreciate this. We have seen n number of students every day getting that 90 in writing and listening by adding this. So you can absolutely add. This is a famous, very popular cheat code that will help you get more scores towards your writing and listening. Alright, I really hope this was an informative video. With this, I'll park the video, like, share and subscribe and follow for more. This is Nakul signing off, Nakul signing off from Skills PTE. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.